guest tonight, Rose Quartz, on the live. Tonight we're gonna talk about the Walmart shutdowns and the UPS layoffs on this video. So y'all please smash that like and subscribe button. Drop comments in comment section. Drop your opinions, your thoughts about this situation with the UPS layoffs, because there's a lot of people out there losing their job, and they have to have a means of income. They have a family to feed. So it's important that people have a way of making ends meet. But right now, the way the economy is moving and the way these companies are laying off people, it's it's tough. It's trials and tribulations, man. Just like it say in the Bible, we live in the last days, man. Everybody going through a tough time. But the rule is you have to pray to the man upstairs. You gotta keep everything in God's hand. That's the number one rule. So if you listening and watching tonight, please stick to that rule. And that's real. That's real, man. But also since Rose Quartz is on this live as a special guest, you might want to subscribe to her channel too. She have a very interesting channel also. She talk about some real stuff on her
Yeah.
channel. So,
Thank you so much.
oh yeah, you're welcome. But yeah, don't be a stranger. Subscribe and hit the like button. But let me quit talking about that. Let's talk about the situation at hand. But um, not Walmart, UPS have just laid off 48,000 people within the past day or so, and that's a whole lot of people. And think about this: a lot of them people have to be single mamas, single fathers, right? And the cost of living has risen. So if you don't have a job to buy food and clothes for the kids or have money to pay bills in the household, what you think the next person going to do? What you think they're going to do? Common sense is some people can't handle trials and tribulations, stress, you know, downfalls. Some people cannot mentally handle that. Some people psych out, trip out, and you have people turn to drug use. You have some people that turn to crime, and they'll take by any means necessary. And that's one of the main reasons why I feel like the crime rate is so high out here in these streets, because people don't have no way of getting a job. But a lot of people criticize and say people not trying to work or people not trying to do better. You actually really do have people out there that's trying to do better, and when they get an opportunity, and all of a sudden you have a company that turns around out of nowhere and be like, we don't need you no more. It messes with your mental. It really does, because me personally, I actually been through this, you know, and it's a bad feeling. It's not a good feeling at all. I've been through this like several times in my life, and I've been in this world 40 years, some years. So I'm a living witness to it. I understand the struggle. I really do. Been there and done that. And for the record, sometimes I feel bad for people, because when I be in certain cities, like these major cities, like Atlanta, like Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Houston, Texas, Dallas, California, somewhere, because I used to drive on the road. I used to see homeless people sleeping underneath the bridge. I used to see people sleeping in tents. I used to see people sleeping inside their cars. And reality is, it's not cool. It's not cool, you know. And sometimes it makes you want to cry, because it's not. It's life shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be that way. You know, if I and me personally, if I see a person need help, if I have it like that, I'll try my best to help. Even if it's just 50 cent, $1, it doesn't matter. You know, something better than nothing. You know, and actually, my friend that's a guest on this show, she actually helped me 2 times in my life. That's a friend for life. That's a person that really understands what a struggle is. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I kind of feel some type of way about these leaders, these city officials, because I know they ride around their cars. they fancy cars through these cities and see these people out there, and they don't say nothing. Like they just keep pushing. They just keep going. Don't say anything. They don't try to come up with solutions to solve the problem. You know, they don't. You can see it clear as day. Even in a small town down there right now, I see this on a daily basis. And you know, and as far as the Walmart shutdowns go, you have people that actually depend on Walmart, because they can afford Walmart. You have to realize Walmart, you know, it's a reasonable store to shop in. Grocery shop, clothing, you know, baby clothes, shoes, work boots, it's reasonable. Walmart is a reasonable place to go shop. And if Walmart go down, or better yet, if they shut down, it's gonna hurt a lot of people. It's gonna have a tremendous effect on a lot of people because it's not too many stores that that's actually reasonable like a Walmart, you know? Because you go to other stores, you might be buying diapers or something for your little baby. You go to Walmart, you can buy a pack of diapers for like 12, $13. But if you go to another store or major outlet, you paying probably $20 for a pack of diapers, and or maybe more, depending on what brand store it is. And you have to understand, realize $13 will save a lot of people versus people paying $25 for a product or more at Walmart. I mean, at another place besides Walmart. That's what you have to understand and realize. But it's a lot of things going on right now, and it's hurting a lot of people. You know. But what's your thoughts on this, Rose? I said too much right now. I said a whole lot.
What's funny is it's not even just the lower classes or the middle class that's feeling it. It's other people as well. I've noticed the economy changing in a lot of ways. One example being before COVID, you definitely knew when it was the end of the month or the beginning of the month. There
Right,
was always signs like people were coming out of nowhere in the first of the month, and the end of the month was dead. Like nobody would come into the restaurant where I work, and nobody would come into the retail places and stuff like that.
right,
Same thing payday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, slow. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, busy, right? And that was before COVID. Well, then COVID happened, and I felt like for 4 years or so, nobody really worried about the first or the end of the month or any of that. But it's back with a vengeance, and I've noticed
right,
that it's like night and day. I feel like just started in September and it hasn't stopped. And like, I mean, in my restaurant, sales have really dropped. Definitely on like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and also towards the end of the month. The
right,
sales are low. People are running out of money. They've ran up the credit cards. The car's getting repoed. They're getting kicked out of their homes. I have an employee right now. She's got to find a new place.
right,
It's it's getting crazy. Everybody's jacking the rent up double.
right.
And here's the thing: is minimum wage only went up $1.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's another issue I have too about the economy. Like how people supposed to survive if you working a job and your rent is maybe $1,000 a month, maybe 1,200, right? But you work a job, you working maybe 8, 9, 10 hours a day. All you making is like what, 13, $14 an hour, and you do the math, $14 an hour times 10 hours a day. I mean, even though you might get a little overtime or 8 hours, which is 40 hour week times $14 an hour, that's not a lot of money. I mean, especially if you depend on your circumstances, the job you work at, it might be paying every 2 weeks or every week. On every 2 week paying job, you can't pay rent and then pay light bill, water bill. And then if you have kids on top of that, you have to think about them. You got to feed the babies, the kids, buy them food and clothes. Like it's not
Great,
enough.
great points. And then think about this. So if you've got a two-parent household or a two-income household, because
Hmm.
you got no kids, but you got a roommate, you're
Right,
at an advantage right now.
right,
But guess what? Single moms, and now they're cutting off food stamps.
right.
It's hitting the fan now. It's really hitting the fan, and
It
I don't
is.
know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But these women need the help the most. Granted, I do believe there's a lot of people that take advantage of the system and all that stuff,
Right.
but these women that need it, even these dads, the single dads that need it,
Right.
that's crazy. Now they're already at a disadvantage and they're cutting off those benefits. So hopefully this government shutdown doesn't last long. I
Hopefully it
don't know.
don't.
I don't know where this economy's heading, but I don't see it getting any better this year or next.
I don't need it. Me neither. I don't see it because like it's just like with the current government we have. It seems like to me their focus is more on other things, which is outside the country. They're not focused on anything at
Right.
home. At home, they're not focused on us. They focus on other things, And when it comes down to like this, the food shortage, because it's about to be a food shortage too, from my understanding. Because I watched another video today, and they're about to cut back on production of food, like farms, cattle, things of that nature. Um, they're about to shut down, cut back on that. Excuse my
Well, the
French.
sales are down. Like the government isn't buying beef from the United States anymore. They're buying it now from South
Foreign country.
America. And so the farmers who are selling the cattle, they're not making as much money. So even for them, sales are down.
Exactly.
It's unreal. I
I'm
mean,
not,
and I know from the restaurant business right now, beef is the highest.
right.
Chicken's on sale like crazy. Pork is
Hmm.
cheap, and so is shrimp. But beef is unreal right now.
It
It's
is. It is. It is. And plus, it's most of the beef is not vegetarian raised anymore. Like they are putting other elements inside that beef. When they actually raise the cattle, so it's not natural meat anymore.
no,
From my understanding, from what I'm listening to, but it's becoming more dangerous and it's becoming critical. You know, because that's why I had to watch out what I eat. Actually, like depending on where I go shop at to get some meat or food, I had to be careful of that too, because it's been a whole lot of recalls going off on the past
yes,
couple months or so. So yeah, I know one time it was a recall on shrimp at Walmart because it was some type of poison ingredient inside that
it's
shrimp, and
radioactive too.
actually,
It
yeah,
was
but
radioactive shrimp they talked about recently.
yeah, I did a video about that a month ago. But actually, that shrimp didn't come from America. That shrimp came from across the water, across across over in Asia.
Yes, and I heard that it was a country that we have recently put a large tariff on.
Hmm.
That is why they went and gave us lesser shrimp than they would have normally. That's the
Yeah,
story. But I don't know. I always wonder, is it propaganda against the current government or is it a true story? I have no idea. So, I mean, that's just secondhand news. But yeah, the recalls are really concerning. We're seeing every single day at least one recall of something. And I don't think we're even seeing all of them.
exactly, exactly, and that's not good. That's scary. That's why I'm really careful about where I go get some food from now. You know,
Right.
yep. But yeah, shrimp. You have to be very careful where you get your shrimp from in your fish, in particular. To be exact, well, you have to be careful with that. But it's about to be a food shortage too, because I watched another video today, another channel, and that was talking about the fact that the government is losing money, like they losing funding to invest into everything. If you want to be real, they losing
Wow.
everywhere, and they had to dig into backup funds just to put back into the population. So that means the country's savings, like the savings for this country, that savings account's going all the way downhill. Especially if you had to go to backup money, if you had to dig into the country's backup money, that's not good.
Yeah, and he's supposedly be doing something with cryptocurrency, but I'm having trouble following that. I've got to watch some more informational videos, but
Right,
it's just interesting where this economy's headed. Gold is going through the roof, silver's going through the roof.
right.
Uh, keep saying the stock market's falling and the crypto's falling, but it seems to be a correction. I'm
Right.
not sure. So it's strange that there's a housing bubble, there's a stock market bubble,
Hmm.
and now like the inflation of the food and the amount of the food we have is at stake here, so it
Right.
almost seems strategic on the little people, especially shutting down food stamps and all this
Right.
stuff. It seems like they're really trying to squish the American people on purpose,
Me too.
and
I think
I'm
so
not
too.
really quite sure the agenda.
Hmm.
I'm sure it has to do with the current government
Right.
and who likes it and who doesn't, whatever. I feel like we're all captive in it. So who cares
Right.
which team is the winner? We're all sitting here starving, you know?
Yeah.
So to me, it's like red or blue, it's both garbage, both
Right.
sides are garbage. They do not care about us. They're not worried about,
Yeah.
what we're having for dinner.
Right.
They're not worried about us.
Now,
I see a lot of propaganda. "Oh, Trump doesn't care about you. Trump doesn't." Well, neither does the other side. I hate to break it to y'all, but nobody
right.
nobody cares anymore, and we're all on our own.
Basically, in
And
so
they're
many
gonna tell us
words.
later on. They're gonna be like, "We told you to garden. We told you during COVID to start a garden."
Mm.
I know it's gonna be on the news. They're gonna say it. We told you.
Right.
It's
Right.
strange.
It's strange stuff, but I mean, I tell you, it's something to think about because it's like the more I think about it, the more it kind of concerns me because I think about my son and I think about my little cousins and god nieces, nephews, because it's gonna be a day, a time when I'm not here anymore, and they still gonna be here, and I
Right.
think life about them. I'm like, what life gonna be like for them? I know it's gonna be harder for the next generation that has to live through this. That's the whole thing. Like the next 20, 30 years from now, I I know it's gonna be worse. I know it is. You
One
know,
thing I've noticed through hiring people for the restaurant is that this new generation right now, the 18-year-old, I'd say the 16-year-olds to the 20-year-olds right now, they
right?
can't count change.
Wow.
And we're talking
Mm.
pennies, dimes, nickels, and money. Like they
Right.
can't count it. And
They,
they were the generation that was going through school when Common Core happened and all
mm,
that. Everything got flipped
yeah.
upside down. They decided to do it, and they decided to vote it out. Well, now you have a whole generation of kids that cannot count change, and they're going out into the workforce, and they're already banking with Cash App. They do not use real banks. They all use Cash App to get their paycheck put into. You know what I mean? So it's only a matter of time until that generation pushes cash out. So I
Exactly.
do think we're headed towards a cashless society at some point.
Yeah. Because I heard stories about it won't be no more dollar bills, pennies, dimes, quarters. It's gonna be digital money.
I
It's
think
gonna
it
be
has
all
to
over.
go that way. I think it has to eventually because
Yeah.
these kids don't know what to do with it.
They don't. They don't. And
And
that's
nobody's
sad.
teaching them the importance of cash.
Right. Yeah, that's not good. You know, the way they teaching these kids in school nowadays, they don't read a book. They don't really write with pen or pencil. They do all their homework on AI, like AI homework. They have AI apps for that. You know,
Yep,
they don't even write anymore. They just type on the computer screen. Type. That's all they do.
right.
And they're not like I believe in the old school way, reading a book, picking up a book, reading a book, cause that's the way I learned. You know, because back in the day when I went to school, which was in the mid 90s, we really didn't have computers. It was rare. You know,
Right.
even with homework assignments, like even if we did do something outside the book, like science, biology, and chemistry stuff like that, we did stuff hands on. We didn't
Oh,
go to a
we
computer.
had a backpack with six big, thick books in it. We had to bring back and forth every day. These kids,
Right,
they get a
right,
computer, they get a laptop signed over.
right. Yeah,
So different. It's
it's a
very different.
but I tell you, society did a whole 360. It changed over the past 20, 25 years. Like 25 years ago, I would never thought this stuff would ever happen.
No,
Personally, I wouldn't. But
no. I'll be honest, I didn't even think, like, not even remember 2012, it was like the end of the world's coming, you know?
Right.
But after that, like, I never would have suspected COVID to happen. I never would have suspected this economy to be collapsing so badly. I
Right.
figured, if all the conspiracy theorists were out saying that it was going to happen, that at the very least they'd have a plan to fix it before it happened, right? But here we are, and it's kind of sliding. It makes
Yeah.
me think of a sinkhole, right? It's like the
Yeah.
sinkhole opening up, and we're all backing up from the edge as best
Right.
we can. But I mean, the rents are crazy. Like you said, like
Right.
you can pay $1,200 a month for a tiny place in an unsafe neighborhood. And
Facts.
then, all your money's going to that, but then they cut your food stamps and you already had a hard time trying to make things happen. And so I
Right.
don't know what's going to happen. And in my area, they cut the free lunches too, the school lunches. They
Really?
were doing it all summer long, and they were doing it for every kid in this
Right.
county anyway, and they cut that this year.
That's
So that's
crazy. That's crazy. See that all this stuff we talking about, that goes to show you that this country, this United States of America is going downhill. Like it's going down. We falling. We
why.
Babylon.
And here's the thing is why. So if we're cutting all these jobs, like you said, UPS, I can only imagine UPS cut jobs because they're implementing AI, right?
Right.
I can only imagine that that would save them money, or they wouldn't
Exactly.
do it. But then why is the cost of everything going up when everybody's laying off because they're using AI?
Yeah,
It
but
just doesn't add up. It does not add up.
it
Like,
don't.
costs should be going down if people are losing their job because a computer is doing it.
Exactly.
And that's not happening. And that's what freaks me out. And the rent's going up
Right.
and things going up.
Because eventually these huge corporations gonna turn to AI robots to perform job tasks that we can do physically. That's what's gonna happen. And a lot of people gonna be in trouble. But also a situation like this can cause a civil war
Yep.
for real in this country. It can cause a civil war, and I feel like that's going to eventually happen. You know, because you have a lot of people already kind of angry about this, and they disagree with the politics of this. So somebody gonna start off a civil war. I can see it coming. I mean, I'm gonna say more of a political civil war.
Well, I saw a article that said that Walmart was actually going to close their doors if
Uh
the
huh.
foods weren't coming
Mm-hmm.
and lock their doors, which to me sounds crazy because you can't make any sales. But if you're that worried about crime in your neighborhood, it says a lot about your neighborhood more than, you know, anything. To
Right.
me, maybe you shouldn't be doing business there anyway if they're going to
Right.
come knock your door down because they went a day without food stamps. Like,
Right.
I don't know what you're doing, Walmart, but
Hmm.
it's crazy to me. So they would rather not have any sales at all and just go straight online? Or is this
Right.
another play on us to cut back their labor?
Yeah, it's all about the rich getting richer. They just trying to save money and keep the
You
poor
can
poor.
still order online from Walmart.
Right?
You can still order that. So
Oh yeah.
interesting. Oh, I want to let you know this too. I saw this today. Your viewers might find this interesting. But PayPal is offering a deal. I don't know how long it's going to last. Might be just the end of this month. But
Right.
if you sign up for Walmart.com through
Uh huh.
PayPal, they will give you 40% cash back for the next 6 months for
Whoa.
everything.
I didn't hear anything about that.
That's a good deal. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I want to share that with your viewers because I use PayPal, but I've never used Walmart.com. I've never used that. The Walmart Plus, I think, is what they're offering. So I guess if you sign up for that, it's kind of like Amazon, but you'll save 40%. So you get 40% cash back. So that means every dollar you spend, you get 40 cents back. That's a deal. So, I mean, I
Yeah,
don't work for
it,
Walmart, I don't work for PayPal, but that's a great deal. So
it,
maybe Walmart is trying to cut back their labor and get everybody to start shopping online.
yeah.
That might be the whole plan.
And you made me thought about something when you said that. It's gonna come a time when nobody will be able to go to a store, the mall to shop. You're gonna shop online all the time.
True. We almost do now.
It's gonna, yeah. Basically, well, 85% of the time now, yeah. Because on the mall in my hometown has completely shut down. In Mississippi,
Wow.
yeah, they shut down Lee Mall in Columbus, Mississippi. So it's no mall there anymore.
Ours
And
is really dwindling. There's not much left to it,
right,
but there's still some stores hanging on.
right, barely by the tip of a finger.
Right,
Yep,
right. And I wonder after this Christmas if they'll be there next year. Probably not.
probably not. I'm kind of curious about these other stores too, like Sears, um, what other store, Walgreens, other certain stores. I wonder what their situation is. It has
Sears
me curious.
closed. Sears closed, I think, a couple of years ago.
Sears, oh, cause we still have Sears here in Georgia. Maybe I think
Really?
one, two stores left over.
I
But
know that ours here closed. I thought the whole chain closed down.
right,
Walgreens seems to be on its way out too.
yeah, that's why I heard. That's why I'm kind of curious about them, and also J.C. Penney. J.C. Penney been going downhill. They're not as popular as they used to be. So
Right. I heard about them too. I heard they were trying to either sell or they were liquidating too. I've heard that as well, but I haven't
yeah,
seen the evidence here. But they're in
right,
our dang mall right now, so
right. But
it's
I'm
only a
thinking,
matter of time.
I'm thinking, yeah, I'm about like you. I'm thinking they might get bought out, you know, because whoever owns J.C. Penney, they don't want to go bankrupt,
Right, right.
right? So I mean, that goes to show you this. We going downhill. This country as a whole, like it's a lot of corner stores and neighborhood gas stations are actually shutting down too. I've been noticing that a lot everywhere I go, and
Wow.
yeah, that's not good. That's.
No.
I mean, I'm not talking about just one, two. I'm talking about a dozen of them.
Wow, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I've
yeah,
noticed a lot of last year especially a lot of restaurants closing down and then this year, yeah, it's a lot of retail is closing down. And I think it's the big squash from Amazon, number one, and then the other big box stores like Walmart or something probably have a part in it. But
right.
another thing is you can order things so cheap from China, even with the tariffs. You can still
Exactly
order things so cheap from China that most people just rather do that.
right. I'm getting to that point actually. I'm starting to learn to order more things from overseas now. You know,
Right.
because
Right.
actually I ordered some clothes from over there in China and had them sent over here. So I'm getting smarter now.
Well,
You
like
know.
Shein and Temu, they've been popular for a while now. They're,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, they're
Oh yeah.
cheap. Shein is very popular with clothes. I've never ordered from them, but I know a lot of people who have and they love it. And then, a
Right.
lot of people, the tariffs, that's a good point right there. But the tariffs, people were up in arms about the tariffs for China
Right.
because it would affect Amazon and Shein and all that stuff. But the thing is, a lot of those tariffs were due to the fact that China was trafficking fentanyl through a lot of those shipments, and
Oh, it
that's where
actually
the fentanyl
was.
coming from. And so it's just
Hmm.
funny to me. Like a lot of people miss that part, but that's why their tariffs are so high, and it's to keep them from sending it through.
Right.
Because just like everything else, it's dirt cheap. So
Right. But what people have
that's
to
part of
realize,
why there's so many tariffs over there.
but what people have to realize, them foreign countries don't like the United States, so they're gonna find other type of ways to get us. You know, I call it mysterious warfare. Mysterious warfare where they use other means to attack us, or by giving us poisons and like you said before, fentanyl and other things to hurt us. They even put stuff in food.
Yeah, and
Ash-
the baby formula.
mm-hmm.
There's all kinds of stuff from Chinese makers that the baby formula has metal in it or arsenic. I mean,
Right, right,
you
and
only
it's
need that to happen once. Like
not
that's terrible.
very, very terrible, very dangerous. So you have to be kind of mindful when it comes. The most dangerous thing to even get from overseas is food and certain type of medicines. That's my honest opinion. So, I mean, but you can't trust medicines or medications over here in America either. it's dangerous for your body. So really, honestly, I believe in natural home remedies. To be real, yeah,
Same.
yeah,
Yeah. It's very interesting, and I can't remember how many times I've read an article about a pharmacist counted wrong or the doctor prescribed it wrong and there was a death.
right.
The leading cause of death in America is like medical malpractice, I believe.
That's correct. Yeah, I heard the same thing. Actually,
Yeah, it's
that's
scary stuff.
why I hate hospitals. Oh my goodness, I cannot stand hospitals. Every time I
What
walk in the
industry is
hospital,
what industry is doing the best right now in this economy?
right, the hospital spooks me. I don't trust doctors. I do not trust them either.
No, I don't trust anybody who's trying to pay the payments on their Jaguar. Like, I really just don't.
Facts,
So,
facts,
I
facts.
don't want to put my health in that guy's hands. I'm good. I want to know my body and I want to understand how to, deal with it. I don't want to have to be dependent on, oh, I can't go to this doctor because I don't have the right insurance. It's
Facts.
just crazy. And I've told my kids, I hope I do okay because
Yeah, right,
trying to put them through school and get them ready for life, but if something happened to me, I'd be dead broke. Everything be gone. One accident, that's what they say for Americans, if you don't
right.
have health insurance, you're one accident away from poverty. You
Yeah,
could be doing great and then lose it all.
yep. And that's a scary feeling. It's a thought, but
Yeah,
scary feeling. I mean, and the more you out here, the more people you see that's going through it. It makes you think about your family, other people that you
right.
feel close to. It makes you think, and it makes you think about yourself too, actually, because yeah, because it puts you in a frame of mind to say or think
Yes.
to yourself.
Any
Yeah, it makes you think something to yourself. For this can't be me. I don't want to be like this. Like, it makes you think that way when you see other people out there, you know, in poverty and etc. Oh, the camera's messing up. Oh man, oh, you still there? The camera was messing up there.
back? Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it's reconnected or something. My internet went out.
right. Yeah, it kind of
Sorry.
blanked out. Then we came back. Yeah,
Yeah, my screen started flashing.
it did. It did. That's
So
weird. That was weird because that
it's
never
very,
happened. That never
very.
happened.
I know YouTube is the weirdest thing, but yeah, we've talked about that.
Exactly.
I don't
Exactly.
know. This is discussions that like people need to be having, and I think more real people. Like we're real people, you know what I mean? We're not like the elite. We're not running around with Beyonce and Joe Rogan, and you know what
Facts.
I mean. We're real people, and this is truth. Like everybody's struggling, and I don't want to hear Joe Rogan talk about how everybody's struggling because I know he's not. So
Right. Right.
you know what I mean? It's like this is relatable content, and I feel like more people need to talk about these things and what we're dealing with. Like you're saying, all these gas stations closing and stores closing, and that's news to me. I didn't really realize that
Right.
the economy was that bad in that area. So
Yeah. It's
it's scary.
scary. It's terrible. And that I mean that's another reason why that it's so important to become an entrepreneur and make your own money and so
Right.
forth. And that's what I'm on right now myself. It's hard to get a job now too. That's another thing. The fact that UPS is laying out so many people. That's a huge part of the reason why it's so hard to get a job. Like it's hard. Like I mean, I know since I've been back from over the road, 'cause I used to drive over the road. Since I've been back, it took about 4 months for me to get a freaking job. Four
Wow.
months. 4 months. And that's crazy. And throughout my whole life, it never took me that long to get a job. Never.
No, I mean, right now it's wild. I have, I'm not even putting an ad up right currently, but I must get 10 applicants a day.
Right.
You
That's a
know, and
lot.
most of them are not in the food service field. They just really need a job.
Right. A lot of many people needs a job right now, and I feel their pain. I really do. From deep down by my heart, I really feel where they coming from. I understand because without a job, how you gonna survive? That's the number one thing. Like how in the world you gonna survive in this world without income? Like make it make sense. And the government have to understand that. Even the owners, the business owners, these corporate people, they have to understand that. But seem like to me, they don't understand that. So that goes to show me that you have a ton of heartless people out here. I mean, people with money are heartless. Cause like they say, money is the root of all evil. You
It's
know
the
what I mean?
love. The quote is actually is for the love of money is
Right.
the root. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the fun. It's not the money.
Right.
It's
It's
the
a person.
greed.
Yeah. The greed. The person that's greedy. And
Hmm.
yeah. And but at the same time, every dog has their day. The
True.
ones because the ones who mistreat the population, the ones who's trying to destroy the population, they are the ones that gonna see their day. But see, we are the majority. They are the minority. So many words, the minority always gonna lose anyway. It may not be right now. It may be on Judgment Day. It can be on Earth 20 years from now. Who knows? But they day coming. Every dog got their day. Trust and believe me. Oh yeah. Because these folks that control all of this, they know they are wrong for this. They know they are wrong for this because number one, what really hits me is the fact there are single mamas out there homeless with a baby on the
Right.
sidewalk, on the bridges, under these tents and stuff on the interstate. We talking about in Atlanta. I seen this with my own two eyes. It's a terrible sight to see. It'll make you want to cry. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then the fact that these people know these little babies are innocent, these little kids are innocent, that their parents are going through it. If you make it hard on the parents, you making it hard on the child. That's the number one thing I look at, you know, and that's why I have a heart for some with kids. I have a heart for kids. I do for little baby kids like 5, 6 year old little boys and girls. I have a heart for them. You know what I mean? Because I have a son myself, and I have little cousins that's 5, 6 years old. I want them to survive. I want them to eat too. I don't want them to go through what we been through. I don't. You know, you know what I mean. I
Right.
don't want them to grow up and then get a job and then all of a sudden get laid off and then be messed up out here. Like no, that's not
You know,
cool.
I
That's not
do remember though, and I think we're in the same age bracket, but I do remember being a child in the 80s and my parents were broke
right.
and we didn't have anything
Yeah,
and we were fine.
yeah.
It was okay. There was times we could have used a little more, but I mean nobody went to bed hungry really unless we were bad, you know.
Right. Fact,
But
fact.
like, I feel like we had enough.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like, God provides what you need. And this is a personal thing, but I just feel like maybe, this is a full circle thing. Well, now we are going towards the end of our life and we're going to see it happen again, like, but at least we have that know-how that, we can live with less. We can do this. We can do less. But it's interesting to see the climb, right? From the 80s to the 90s was pretty cool. And then
It was
2000 it's stopping. And then 2020 we're like, what is going on? And then, 2025, whoa, started out with a bang, but it took a sharp turn. So now we're like almost back to like
back
these kids
on
are
eight.
gonna want to be a kid in the 80s now.
Right. Right.
So
Because
I
I'm
mean, I feel like as long as you love them, they'll
hmm
be all right.
right.
Wow, what a
Because
different world.
I can relate to you because I grew up in the '80s too, and my dad, um, he was a working man. He was the only person in the house that went to work, and my
Right,
mom
right.
my mom stayed at
Stayed
home with
home
me and my
too.
brother. Right, my mom had to watch over me and my brother, make sure we went to school. My mom had to make sure me and my brother ate. You know what I'm saying? While my dad was at work, and we
Now,
we
for
we struggled. We struggled. We
for
struggled.
us, that was mostly because my parents couldn't afford 2 cars.
Facts.
If they
Yeah.
could have afforded 2 cars, my mom might have gone to work.
Right.
Couldn't even afford 2 cars, it was crazy, like, I remember that when my mom got the 2nd car, it was like a big deal.
Right.
Now, I mean, look at everybody's got a car. You're buying a car for your 16-year-old these days, like, but I think that's about to change.
Oh, definitely. That's going to change. Because the car lots are going up on the vehicles too. You know,
Yes.
taxes are going up on these brand new cars.
Expensive. Even the used ones. The used car market's insane.
Exactly. They're going. It used to be at $20,000, like the lowest amount of money for a used car, like a Kia, a Hyundai, or what else? What Hyundai, Honda. There used to be
Toyota.
it used to be $20,000. Now that the used cars they going up to about $30,000-$35,000 a pop.
Right.
That that's a lot.
And you can't find a new car under 40. You can't.
Right. 'Cause I remember back in 2018 I bought my car. It was 20 bands and I had to pay it off. You know what I mean? It took me a couple years, but I paid it
Right.
off. And I'm going back to the website of the car lot where I got my car from 6 years ago. Now, them cars, like I said, them cars is not $20,000 anymore. Them cars 30, 35, $40,000 for a freaking used car. So you can imagine how much a brand new car costs. And we talking about in the state of Georgia. Like
Oh,
it probably $40,000-$50,000 for a spanking brand new car now. I can imagine, you know. And hey, I'm not rich. I can't afford it. I can't get it. So, so good luck to the next person.
right.
Yeah,
I know. I always kind of thought, I guess, because, the 2000s was such good money, really, for everybody. I really
facts.
thought I'd be able to buy my son his first car. But
Hmm.
now, listen, he makes more money than I do because he lives with me. You don't got to pay rent or anything. So
Right.
gonna have to do it. I don't have any money. I was looking, so he's only 17. We have a joint bank account. He's got more money than I do in the savings. I'm like, how the heck did that happen? But
He's
good
a
for
smart.
him because this is the only chance he's gonna get.
He's a smart one.
This is the
Hey, look.
only chance he's gonna get ahead though, because the minute he gets out of my house, I mean, I'm scared. The rent he's gonna have to pay in his lifetime is insane.
We. I can imagine.
And buying a house is almost impossible now. They've made it almost impossible. A
Oh
house
yeah.
that used to go for 150,
Oh yeah.
150,000 now
Hmm.
is like 350,000.
Most definitely. It's up there. It's up there. I've been looking online at some houses and it's expensive. It's some $500,000. Then you have some that's 700,000, close to $1 million.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
you have to have a great career and you have to be into something to make that type of money to to get a house like
It's
that. But
insane. It's really
it
insane. Average family can't afford a home anymore.
nope, they can't.
And in
And
fact, the average family is on welfare right now. So the average family is in danger of going hungry.
basically, yes, indeed,
And the average should not be in poverty. That's so crazy. How
it's
did
crazy.
America end up like this? And then I really think, we really should have paid more attention when we voted in that labor increase.
Facts.
But it's a good thing in certain ways. It's just a bad thing in other ways. And the combination of the labor going up and the AI coming in is
Right.
really killing it.
It really is. It really is. It's making it hard for the average person, the average family. That's why I said from the beginning, it's going to be a higher crime rate soon. It is. More people going to become desperate, and they're going to be willing to do any and everything just to get something to eat or somewhere to lay their head or valuable possession. or whatever it may be, they're gonna become desperate.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
No, and
most
I
definitely.
remember days in my life, I got in some trouble and then I went through a breakup. And so I couldn't get the type of job I would normally be able to get. So I'm having to work food service for the first time in a long time.
Definitely.
And I'm raising a young child.
Mhm.
So when I tried to go for food stamps back then, I remember there was some glitch in my paperwork and I had a child and I barely made any money. I worked at Subway
Yeah.
and I literally got $18 a month in food stamps. And I'm like, what on earth? And I had friends who were getting like hundreds. And I said, well, there's got to be something wrong. It took me almost a year to get that fixed.
Right. That's a long
And then
time.
they kind of like, well, it took this long to get it fixed. Do you really need it?
Shit.
I'm like, that's not the point, lady. Like, we are trying to get ahead here. We're trying to get out of this hole, right? You know, and I'm not going to do that with an
Yeah.
$18 coupon at the grocery store. So, I mean, I can't even imagine if I was dealing with that in these days. But I
Right.
remember being desperate in my mind at times and walking through neighborhoods going, you know, I could probably get away with taking that. And like these demonic thoughts pop into my head to steal from my neighbors. And I
Yeah.
remember writing myself and being like, what the hell is wrong with you? That is Satan. Don't sell your damn soul for rims. Like just go home and figure this out. And I remember like having this conversation with myself and being like, it can't get worse. It's got to get better. And I do remember, you know, things happened and things did get better, but like you do get to those places when you're desperate and you're hungry and things aren't going right. You get that in your head, and when Satan like drifts in like that and you're in that right place, he might get you. He
Oh,
almost got me.
oh yeah. That's why I stay prayed up. I
If
try to
you've got this
avoid those.
mouth to feed, you will act different, you know? And
Yeah.
when you're trying to feed yourself and it's just not working, you will act different. Natural instinct is to survive. So,
Definitely.
you
Yeah.
know, that crime will definitely go, it will go up. And I guarantee there'll be riots if these food stamps don't get cleared up soon.
Oh,
And that's
most
probably
definitely.
why they have, that's
Uh
probably
huh.
why they have what is it? What did they send the troops into certain cities?
National Guard. The National Guard. Yep.
Was
Mm-hmm.
that pre-planning? Hmm,
Yeah, that's very telling. Very telling.
very
Yep.
clear in my
Hmm.
opinion. Why else would they send them there?
Exactly. They know what's about to happen. They know what's going on. They're
I
not
know.
crazy. They're not crazy.
And then they're adding this comet, the Three Eye Atlas comet coming at us, and they keep
Huh?
telling you it's a comet. No, it's an alien. No, it's a comet. Oh, it's got to be aliens. And they keep going back and forth.
No. They try to confuse the population.
I'm like, listen, we're trying to eat and pay rent over here. Who cares?
Right. Right. Facts. Facts.
It's crazy. It
Yeah.
just doesn't add up. And I'm telling you, even though I'm in a position where I like hire people and give people jobs, but
Right.
even you know what I mean? I don't make a lot of money, but like even I am struggling and the money is it's coming back and I can feel it. I'm like, this hasn't been like this in a long time.
Right.
And even during COVID, we didn't have the high prices. That was better. It was hard to get the items, but the items weren't expensive.
Exactly.
But then after the items weren't a supply issue anymore, then the price went way up. But they already had us built in to stock up.
Exactly.
Hmm.
That basically it was a hint. That was like a hint right there during that time frame. But
Yes.
a lot of people didn't catch on to it. That's the thing about it.
They were telling us to build a garden too, plant a garden,
Hmm.
be self-sufficient. And I always thought that too. I was like, this is a clue. They're trying to tell us that something's coming. And
Definitely. Some coming. Yeah, definitely. I think it's gonna be a huge, a very huge food shortage one of these days, and people just gonna panic. That might be what it is.
it
That's
might
what I'm,
be,
that's what I'm thinking. Definitely.
it might be,
Yeah.
it might be. But then, you know, and then here's the thing, it's like, and I don't want to be that jerk that like hates people because they're rich, because
Hmm.
they may have worked hard for it, they may have been handed it, whatever, but it's theirs and it's not my business. But how does anybody go hungry in America when Elon Musk is chilling in Texas with almost $1 trillion?
I know, right?
How does anybody go hungry when Amazon has so much money? It could feed each child today
Exactly.
a
Exactly.
filet mignon steak, and they would still have plenty of money to operate tomorrow without missing a
Right.
beat.
These rich people not gonna help the people. That's the problem. That they don't want nobody to help the people. That's
They're not even going to give us a job. They're going to cut our position and put a computer in it.
right. It never fails. It always happens. But it's like the rich not gonna help the poor people. That's common. And people that's in higher positions that own businesses, they're not trying to help the people. They don't want to. They can easily all this money that's here in America, it's enough here for everybody. They
Right,
just don't want to do it. Plain
right,
and simple. They just don't want to do it. You know. But it's a whole nother agenda to that. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want them to suppress my channel. But
right.
I know what it is because I don't heard it on other channels. So they don't want to help. I'm gonna just say it like that. They don't care. They don't care. They're trying to help, and they would never help.
Makes me
Never.
think of the Hunger Games and stuff.
Right.
That movie series, but it's
And don't you know? Yeah, we can say that for another time. That other thought, but what I want to say, just like with the medications, right? A lot of these diseases, right? They have medications for half of these diseases out here. They just don't want to give it to the public.
right.
But if you can actually get your hands on it, but your money got to be right. You have to pay out that money to get the medication to get healed from
Yeah,
that disease. Just like that A word, just like the A word. You know what I'm about to say? They have a
yeah.
cure for that. But
Hmm.
they not going to tell you. They don't want you to get your hands on it. The only way you're gonna get your hands on it unless you pay that bread. You pay that money. You
And
see
that's
what
been a cover up for a long time.
Yeah. You see what happened with Master Johnson. Master Johnson back in the 90s, he had that dog. And now it's we in the 20 teens and that man looking healthy. You
You
know
remember
what
that? Remember that missing plane that
I mean?
disappeared, Malaysian flight,
Right,
and all the doctors on that, they were all involved with that topic. I mean, funny. And then I remember in Florida during
right,
2020 times, they must have, you know, offed every holistic doctor that existed.
right.
And I just don't understand why people don't see this. It's terrifying. And then
It's like
okay, cancer is another one. Like we're pouring all this money into cancer research, but it's not changed in a long time.
nope.
And then they kind of tell you that sugar causes it, but nobody really tells you.
Right, right. But I mean, they're not gonna tell you certain information, certain foods that can cause certain diseases, but they don't want to tell you that. You know what I mean? But you know something, when it comes down to information like that, you have to actually research it. You have to
Yeah.
look it up and dig and dig and dig and find it
Oh
just
yeah.
to know. Because they're not even going to teach you that in schools. They're not going to teach you that in universities, colleges,
No,
nowhere. Not even
right.
on the job.
They don't teach you about health. They don't
Mm,
teach you money, and
nope.
they don't even teach you anything really about how to get a job other than how to write a resume.
Right.
They might teach you how to get the interview and all that, but they don't teach you even like job skills really. Like
They don't.
this is how to be an employee in this world that's going to have AI all over it, or anything like
Right.
that. You don't see that. You just kind of get
Right.
thrust into it, and they don't even teach you taxes in school. How does a school, which is run by the government, not teach you about taxes? Should be a whole class.
Exactly. Because a lot of people don't know how to file taxes. People don't know or they're not aware of the rules of taxes. You know, the tax
They
rules.
don't want us to be smart.
Right. You know, that's the number one reason why. Hey, listen, that's the number one reason why a lot of people end up going to the feds because they don't tax evasion or
Yeah. Well, they
not
don't know any
tax.
better. Everybody should get a get out of jail free card with taxes. Nobody taught us any better.
No. Yeah.
We were never taught this. And listen, if a public school is run by the government, that
Right.
should be the first class you take in high school.
Right. Exactly. That's
Or at
my
least when you're 16 and you're able to work.
right.
They don't even teach you child labor laws, anything like that. They don't teach you anything in school that's really useful because they
No.
don't want you to be smart. And then they teach you
Right.
history that they go and change. Don't get me started.
To be real. to be real with you, the system like love to mislead people. You
Yes.
know, when it comes down to a companies, they don't even teach you about companies' histories, the history of companies like Walmart, UPS. You know, the
Right.
history of companies and the pros and cons of
Yeah.
these things. You know, and other things that they don't teach you that in schools. They're not going to even teach you that at all because they want you to be misled. They want you to be deceived. You know,
Right. And I took a
yeah.
class at school called it was called government,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it just told you about the branches of the government, what they could do. It didn't really tell you like the history of the government and the horrible things it's done. It didn't
Exactly.
really set a bad light at all, but it kind of should have. Because I remember thinking a while back, I was like, that government class I took was such a joke.
Exactly.
I didn't
Exactly.
really learn anything about the government other than like terms and how long the governor can be a governor. Like, who
Exactly.
cares? How about tell me about like these horrible things the government has done to its own people?
Exactly. I remember taking that class in the 10th grade. That's all they was teaching me about the Congress and the president, vice president,
The
and so
court,
forth. But they never taught me no history about what the dirt they did. But ever since I've been growing old, I had to learn for myself. And I
they
found
didn't
out
tell us that our founding fathers were all Freemasons either.
they didn't teach us that neither. We had to learn that on our own.
Yes, it's very
Yep.
interesting.
Very interesting. Yup. For real. Hey, but check this out. I'm about to end the live because my phone is on like 15%. This phone about to die.
Hear that? So it was a good
Yeah.
time, man. We'll have to do this again.
Yeah, we definitely will. We're definitely gonna do one on your channel, then come back to the channel and do one. But for those who are watching, we enjoyed you. And if you support the channel, smash the like and subscribe button, please. And also subscribe to Rose Quartz on her channel also. But
Thank
anyway, we're gonna end this live chat. Until the next video, I'm out. We out. Peace.
thank you.
All right.